concerns over the Midway Rising development project. What we've uncovered coming up.
Is the encampment ban working? Neighbors in the East Village speak out. Details coming up.
Since the Humane Society scandal, we've received a lot of questions. We verify, is it even legal in Arizona for Humane Society to transfer animals to a breeder? It's boo.
'Tis the season to give back and to ice skate. We're getting you in the holiday spirit live tonight from Rady Children's Ice Rink at Liberty Station.
I'm a rockin' man.
Tom Cridland and the Rocket Man experience, how Elton John inspired him to change his life.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now.
We're learning new details tonight about the deadly plane crash in La Jolla that left a pilot dead. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan. Marcella is off tonight.
I'm Carlo Chiquetto. The plane went down last night on a hillside near some townhomes. CBS 8's Rocio De La Fe is live near the scene of the crash where the NTSB just wrapped up a news conference. Rocio, what are we learning?
Well, right now, the crash site is still very busy and active from what you can see behind me, with both investigators from the FAA and NTSB both working to gather evidence here on the ground. Now, crews have actually started the process of moving the plane off the hillside where it crashed. Now, the plane is registered to a man from Carlsbad, but we have not been able to confirm that he is the victim that was killed in this crash. NTSB officials say the single-engine Cessna 210 plane took off from Concord, California at around 5:30 yesterday. We don't know where the pilot was headed, but we do know he tried to land at Montgomery Field in Kearney Mesa before heading toward La Jolla. Then at around 9:30, the pilot made a call to the control tower telling them that he was out of fuel. Air traffic control tried telling the pilot to head towards a runway that was only about 2 miles away, but then the audio goes silent. FlightWare data shows the pilot made unusual turns before crashing yards away from homes here in the neighborhood. Right now, the NTSB is conducting its field investigation phase, which will focus on identifying what could have led to the crash.
We are focused on three main areas. That's the pilot, the machine, and the environment. So the pilot's qualifications, for example. The machine, we'll look at the maintenance records, as well as the conditions of the aircraft prior to that for any records that exist, and the environmental conditions. So of course we're going to be looking at weather reports and any other factual information we can gather.
Now, the team behind me that you see working to move this aircraft off the hillside, they will now head, once they're done here, they will take the aircraft to a secure location where they will then continue their investigation. Back to you.
And Rocio, very early in this investigation, when can we expect more details about the crash?
NTSB officials expect to have a preliminary report from the investigation in about 14 days, but a full report can take anywhere from 18 months to a year.
Rocio De La Fe reporting live from La Jolla. Thanks, Rocio.
New tonight, things are going to be a little easier for drivers in LA and sooner than expected. Governor Gavin Newsom just announced 5 lanes of a stretch of the shutdown 10 freeway will reopen next Tuesday. That's well ahead of the 3 to 5 weeks he said earlier this week. The stretch of the 10 near downtown LA has been shut down since Saturday when a fire broke out at a storage yard, damaging the freeway deck and support columns. Tonight, there are concerns over a plan to redevelop San Diego's Pechanga Arena site.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy has uncovered emails that could impact future plans for the project. She has more on that and how both the city of San Diego and the developer are responding.
Midway Rising is still in its final planning stages. Once complete, it will bring a new arena and thousands of housing units to the area. But according to emails we obtained through a public records request, those plans could change based on major flooding concerns due to rising sea levels.
For years, San Diego leaders have debated over how to redevelop 48 acres of land that currently houses Pechanga Arena.
Thank you so much.
Last September, the city council gave the green light for Midway Rising, a project that promises 4,000 housing units, half of which will be affordable, as well as a new sports arena. But in March of this year, CBS 8 discovered new concerns were raised. Through a public records request, we obtained this email sent from the city's chief resilience officer to the city's planning director. In part, it reads, based on the latest sea level rise projections, the project area sees very little shallow groundwater. This raises concerns for public health and safety, as well as impacts to critical infrastructure. I would recommend additional analysis of this as the project moves forward.
What do you do with the water? And when there's more water, what do you do with it? And those are substantial concerns.
Wesley Danskin is a researcher hydrologist with the United States Geological Survey. He says the area in question used to be marshland. As it stands now, it sits just 10 feet above groundwater. But projections show the groundwater level could rise 6 feet by the year 2050 and reach the surface by 2100.
For small single-family dwellings that are built of wood, that are only one story, those probably could survive. But real infrastructure with concrete and basements and parking and multiple stories is a concern.
Another concern, says Danskin, the potential for earthquakes. We reached out to both the city and developer. The city told us in part, city staff will be further exploring how the predicted sea level rise will or will not impact the project site and how the design and build out of the project may be modified based on sea level rise and or other issues. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for the project said Midway Rising is committed to delivering an exceptional project that creates more than 4,000 new homes for San Diegans, including 2,000 truly affordable ones, and a new state-of-the-art entertainment center. We are working closely with city planners to conduct extensive due diligence on the site. The city will also be conducting a comprehensive environmental review of the project, which will provide the public with several opportunities to provide comments. To date, we have found nothing that would impact our ability to deliver this project to the community. No word yet on when the project will break ground. Shanna Handy, CBS 8.
Hopefully you got your fill of sunshine today because round 2 of rain is on the way.
The first part of your weekend may need to be spent indoors. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is here to tell us when the next round of rain is going to hit us.
Tomorrow night.
All right, we're ready.
Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon.
So do all your indoor chores Saturday.
There you go.
Pretty easy.
Or attend a wedding on Saturday. That's what I'm doing.
With an umbrella.
I will. No, it matches my outfit too. All right, we are looking at a chance for rain back in the forecast. So that second surge is set to arrive as we hit tomorrow night through Saturday. Much of the daylight hours on Saturday, we are expecting those chances to go up. So we are looking at that Saturday morning through the afternoon, even into the evening hours. It won't taper off until we get into about late Saturday night all the way through Sunday morning. When we set the clock in motion and went ahead and put it about 6 p.m. tomorrow around this time, could see a light shower for Imperial Beach. Other than that, really quiet overall until we get into Saturday morning. That's when we start to see heavier pockets of rainfall across North County, even impacting for downtown around 8:20. And then we get the influx of moisture that will continue throughout the day. Looking at it more scattered, even heavier pockets of rainfall across portions of North County, and that's around 5:20. Then we start to see activity across the backcountry and then kind of letting up a little bit more as we go into the overnight hours from Saturday night all the way through Sunday morning. Then we're gearing up for some Santa Ana winds in the forecast and a whole lot going on in your complete forecast. So details coming up. Carlo.
All right, we'll see you in a few. Thanks, Carlene. A man who shot at 2 San Diego police officers in Logan Heights was sentenced to 166 years to life in state prison this afternoon. Police say back in September of 2019, 34-year-old Enrique Aguilar pointed a gun at an officer after he and another man were stopped by police. Prosecutors say he started shooting after officers told him to drop the gun. He didn't hit anyone, but officers did fire back and hit Aguilar once.
A couple of months since it's gone into effect, some people in East Village say San Diego's encampment ban isn't working. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is live in East Village tonight with why neighbors there say the city needs to do even more to make the idea actually work. Kirsten?
Yeah, okay, so I'm live here by the Petco Park tailgating parking lot. I want you to take a look behind me so you can get a little more of an idea of the problem. Around 9 this morning, this sidewalk was lined with tents. Those makeshift shelters were short-lived because around noon today, city crews came and swept the area, giving people who live on the streets options and notices that they have 24 hours to take advantage of programs. Here it is, 6 o'clock, and you can start to see tents already starting to gather back on this sidewalk, leaving neighbors here in East Village feeling pretty hopeless.
Something has to change, and it has to change soon.
Giorgio Curlo lives in East Village and says enough is enough. His thoughts on the encampment ban?
It was a half-hearted measure that we thought would create some progress. They do these sweeps. The reality is that we are completely overwhelmed, and for some reason it seems like East Village became the government's dumping ground.
John Brady works with Lived Experience Advisors. He says he used to call the streets of San Diego home, but now that he's back on his feet, he works to help others. But he says the encampment ban isn't working because the problem is bigger than what the encampment ban can fix.
We're more than 60% of the way through most of the goals of a 10-year plan on homelessness that the city established just 4 years ago, right? So we're ahead of the game according to the plan, but we didn't predict that there were going to be 35,000 people who became homeless or impacted our system just this year alone. We don't have anywhere for people to be. I don't care how many safe sleeping sites we open up, unless we open up 3,000 tomorrow, we're not going to be able to resolve this.
Brady says by the end of the year, there will be 35,000 unhoused individuals in San Diego. As of October 2023, San Diego's Regional Task Force on Homelessness counted more than 28,000 active clients. The safe sleeping sites can only hold a fraction of that number. Cookie Serrano lives in East Village. She says something has to give quick.
Those of us that live down here see horrible things, right? We also, see people dying, we see people overdosing, we see people being hauled away by cops, we see people being chased by cops. But I do feel like with the encampment ban and with the safe sleeping sites, we have seen some improvement in the number of tents downtown.
We reached out to the city of San Diego and SDPD since police enforced the camping ban. SDPD says, quote, quality of life crime enforcement occurs in the downtown area 7 days a week by NPD officers. Although we are utilizing the unsafe camping ordinance in a limited capacity in the downtown area, only around certain schools, we have continuously enforced other violations such as encroachment to address tent and other encampments established on the public right of way. Now, the neighbors we talked to today say that they're happy that it gets cleaned up, but they're hoping for a more permanent solution soon. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten. Still ahead tonight, a family calls for accountability after their father's in-custody death.
Plus, Starbucks workers walk off the job and turn Red Cup Day into what they're calling a Red Cup Rebellion.
But first, was it legal for an Arizona organization to take animals from the San Diego Humane Society and sell them to a reptile breeder for food? Up next, we verify.